he's got goals.
13.
Against the clock, it really didn't matter. Mickey, your defender Kentucky.
No scriptwriter could have ever written a better story.
Well, hello there and welcome to this edition of the In Out Studio. A very warm welcome to you wherever you may be watching from around the world. Amy Parks is my name, and what a pleasure it is to be with you on this in the United Kingdom. It is so much to look forward to.
So much. I love a Hickstead weekend. It's always an event that's very close to my heart. I just really enjoy being there, and they have some fantastic classes up this weekend.
Yeah, and really, I mean, mega athletes that we're going to see on display there, really contesting these competitions today and, of course, tomorrow as well for that King George Cup. Can't wait for that one. Plenty to come our way. Let's learn a little bit about Hickstead then. If you're not so familiar with it, of course, for Rosie, I'll give you now, of course, and the Royal International Horse Show. This is Britain's oldest horse show. Now, when you talk about Britain and show jumping, that is something that are intertwined throughout the pages of history. This show, founded in 1907, cracking 120 years. It received its royal title in 1957. And it relocated to Hickstead under the Bunn family, Douglas Bunn, of course, in 1992. And that was to keep it moving forward, keep the sport moving forward and support it financially as well. Big credit to the Bunn family who have done just that for show jumping in Great Britain. Of course, the Bunn family preserved the traditional 120-year-old format. So, of course, the King George V Cup. And we have this class today, which is the Queen Elizabeth II that will come forward today. What a class we are looking forward to. And we have a reporter on the ground bringing you all of the action, of course, there, which is going to be fantastic. And this is someone who is taking a slight change of pace here. Or is it? Or is it a change of pace? Because fun fact about our reporter who is at Hickstead, she actually comes from the sport of eventing originally. And the sport which has stolen her and given her a bronze medal at Olympic level actually was the sport of skeleton at the Winter Olympics. It is Laura Dees, and Laura is at Hickstead. Laura, give us a feel for what's going on at Hickstead. A slight change of pace for you.
It is a bit of a change of pace, but how lovely to be here and for me to finally make it to Hickstead. What an iconic venue, such a prestigious event. The atmosphere is absolutely electric at the moment, and I can just say we have had a surprise proposal just off to my left seconds ago, just to add to the excitement even further. But this event, the Queen Elizabeth II, is going to be a really interesting one today. I think it's a national championship, and for people who have qualified for this, it's you know, for a lot of people, it's going to be the pinnacle of their season, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out, because we're going to have combinations in the field with varying levels of experience. For some, you know, this will be the biggest, the most prestigious, the most electric arena that they will have jumped in all season, and so it's going to be absolutely fascinating to see, you know, who rises to the occasion, how the horses take in the atmosphere and take in this course, and for whom maybe it's a little bit too much. I mean, last year we saw faults all over the course. I think this year is going to be influential again. We actually saw yesterday in the Nations Cup that the water proved to be the bogey fence, so it was quite influential. And we know it is coming up early in this course here. It's early on, followed immediately by the plank. So I cannot wait to see how that plays out and how the horses. We've got Harriet Biddick returning here, hoping to win again. She's our only previous winner in the field. We've also got two athletes in the field who turn their hand to eventing from time to time too. Alex Bragg and, of course, Gemma Stevens. Now, Gemma Stevens, I hear, is winging her way down the motorway as we speak from Aston Walls. Having done an early morning round of eventing, she is trying desperately to get here on time, and she is surely going to be one of the favourites. Now, I cannot wait to see how this course plays out, and in the meantime, I'm just going to be soaking in all this amazing atmosphere here at Hickstead.
Super stuff. Thank you so much, Laura. And we are so pleased to have Laura on board as part of the team this weekend going forward, because such a unique insight to come as an Olympian sport, having been poached by skeleton, as we say, or as you like to describe it, Rosie, as throwing herself down a hill on a kitchen tray.
Yes, that's how I describe it, because that's what I imagine it feels like when you're doing that. I definitely would not be partaking in any of that. I'll leave that to Laura, but having that athlete's perspective is amazing. Although, okay, she was in a different sport, she still understands what it's like to be under pressure, where certain events mean really big things for your future. So, yeah, I think
no one so bold. If you're going to go and find someone to do skeleton, you're probably going to ask for an eventing rider, that is for sure, or an equine athlete, an equestrian athlete. We want to talk about eventing. It's been a tough old week in the UK for eventing, and obviously our hearts and thoughts are with everybody out there this week who's been feeling after some of the events that took place last weekend. But we are turning our attention now to Mill Street, of the sport of eventing that we love so much. Here it is, Mill Street. Look at that glorious setting, of course, in Ireland there at the moment, but that is a fantastic venue, long associated with eventing, and we're seeing here a World Championships this week for under 25s, Rosie.
Yeah, it's the first time there's ever been an under 25 World Championship, so it's really, really important and fantastic, because it gives these riders that stepping stone, that bridge between the under 21 young riders to then go up and hopefully onto the senior actual ranks, because there was just such a gap in between. So this is really important, and at the moment it's unfolding in great fashion. Calvin Bockman leading the way for Germany on that amazing score of 27.6, his second best international dressage score at the 4-star level. So he must be absolutely delighted, and he's a very speedy cross-country rider. Today is cross-country day, so it'll be important that he is moving forwards. But for the Brits, you've got amount of 5-star experience under their belt. They have 5 top 10 finishes at the 5-star level, which is amazing. And to be able to go into a 4-star, because that's what this class is, with that much experience at an under 25 championships, I really hope it comes off for her, because this is the stage for her, and the British lot will be out there cheering her on. So there's lots to look forward to. Absolutely,
and some absolute superstars of the sport of eventing coming up through the ranks who promise to deliver tomorrow, even more so as young as they are. We want to learn a little bit more about this venue. We sent, of course, our wonderful intrepid reporter Frankie Reid-Warrilow to Mill Street, and here's our venue in focus.
Welcome to the FEI Under 25 World Eventing Championships here at Mill Street International Horse Trials. Set against the stunning backdrop of the Green Glens Arena, this prestigious Irish event has been running for more than a decade, proudly organised by the Duggan family. In the last 5 years alone, the investment and development in the facilities here is making it a four-scene arena. The vast space and choice of surfaced arenas allows each of the riders to completely bespoke tailor their horse's warm-up. Cross-country is at the heart of eventing. That feeling of butterflies in your stomach before you tackle a 4-star cross-country course is addictive. Being able to gallop through the parkland of Dreshane Castle whilst proudly representing your country will forever be a moment in the history for each of these 39 riders. The Olympic and 5-star course designer Mike Etherington-Smith has created natural terrain that Ireland has to offer, but still keeping the modern technicalities of 4-star sport. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that the cross-country is where the medals are won and lost. But for the first time ever, can these under-25 riders rise to the challenge of a team championship environment? It's time to find out.
Street there, provided to us by Harry Sykes, of course, and Frankie, our reporter there, and really healing the hearts of everybody in that eventing community this weekend, giving us all something to focus on that's really positive is these young riders. One young rider we want to look at in particular, someone you know, she's from your neck of the woods, Rosie, and that is Jess Rimmer. She is someone we are looking at with particular focus today.
Yes, it's her championship debut, and I know how much it means for her to be part of this team representing Great Britain. She's only had one cross-country fault with the Spice Merchant, that's her horse that she's riding, from 11 international rounds, which is a 91% clean cross-country clear rate, which is absolutely phenomenal. A Spice Merchant named Basil, which I absolutely love.
Of course he is.
Who doesn't love a horse called Basil? And just how hard Jess has worked to get here. Her mum is a former 5-star rider, but she is actually based and trains with William Fox Pitt. And it's been something on the horizon for her for a long old time. So I'm really chuffed for her that she manages to go out there and represent Great Britain, and hopefully it all pays off.
Good choice of name. We like that one. And she is, of course, our rider in focus today. She caught up with Frankie.
I think we want to have a really happy week. We want to come home with happy, sound horses, having learnt something, gained something, and had a really blooming good time. Hi, I'm Jess Rimmer. This is the Spice Merchant, known to his friends as Basil, and we are here at Mill Street for the 4-star Under-25 World Championships. So this is actually only my second season on Basil. He was a bit of an accidental acquirement to my team. I went to Cheltenham races with my friend Alex Munn, who's been campaigning him on the 4-star circuit. She was actually longlisted for Paris with him, representing South Africa. And when her riding dreams came to an end, we were discussing on the train to Cheltenham. He's unbelievably kind. He's very generous, and you give him a fraction of an opportunity to understand his job, and he'll do it. He doesn't hold a grudge, and he won't say no. So I've learned a lot from him, and he's just very kind. At this level, it's a total teamwork. You know, you're working in partnership with an animal who can't speak. So it's such a credit to that non-verbal communication and the bond that we have between horse and rider. The trust that he has in me to jump blindly over some of these roll tops where you can't see the landing, and then sometimes I'm going to ask him for help and he's going to ask me for help because I've walked the course, he hasn't walked the course. So he's got to believe in me, but equally I have to go out of that course with 110% faith in him, which I've got. We just have a good time and spend a lot of time together, and I will work with him on the ground, and I'll do him every day, and it's that partnership both on and off the horse that I think makes it just that bit more special. I mean, it takes an army, doesn't it, to compete a horse at this level and to run everything behind the scenes, and it's not just the horse and I. Honestly, it takes such a team effort, and Jackie's been incredible with the horse and my mentality as well. Mum gets us everywhere and feeds us and walks the courses with me and warms me up, and then I've got William who helps me at home, so it really does take an army. I think the team environment is working to our advantage. I'm absolutely loving the support from Tina and David and the vets and the chef, and that's really helping us to flourish, I think, in this environment, rather than I think some people feel the pressure. But I'm so lucky that William has set us up so beautifully to be ready for this.
Well, that's done that. Basil has a place in our hearts there, doesn't he? For sure. Go, Basil, you good thing. Have a wonderful day out there today, Jess and Basil, the Spice Merchant. We want to catch up with Frankie today, the all-important phase, and she filed this report a little earlier.
It is the very first cross-country day for the World Under-25 Eventing Championships, and we're here in Mill Street. The rain has been coming down this morning, which has been a bit of a difference from the previous sunny summer days that we have had for the dressage. I'm really excited to welcome my guest today, Robbie Kearns, championship rider for Ireland, and we're going to discuss a little bit about the course and what the standard has been set for the Irish, the British, the German, all the nationality riders here for the Under-25 World Eventing Championships. At the moment, the Irish are in the lead after the dressage, Robbie. That's quite exciting. Very exciting. The guys, they did a super job the last 2 days. We have some experienced combinations there with Godfrey and Jenny, and I mean, super good horses, and yeah, they did beautiful tests on. Mike Etherington-Smith has had a bit of a challenge, hasn't he, setting this 4-star short championship class But out of the 39 riders, you've got a massive array of experience, some 5-star riders, but also some people doing their first couple of 4-star shorts. How do you think the course is looking?
I think it's a brilliant course. He's done an absolutely super job. It's, you know, it's inviting, but it's really technical, and there's some really strong lines out there, but everywhere that he has put a really strong line, he's put an option. So there is the opportunity to jump around. You're just going to be slow.
The team riders have, well, and also the individual riders have all been out getting their final walk-in. But when you're riding for a team, which you have the experience of, do you very much have to have plan A and plan B in case the orders come back that you've got to change?
Absolutely. You have to have every single line walked in your mind, know where you have to go if you have an option, if you have a funny jump, because the goal is to come home clear. You've got to get a 0 on your score for your team. So it'll be really exciting this afternoon.
How's the atmosphere in the Irish team camp going into cross-country, your favourite phase?
Absolutely. I think it's really building, but they're really excited to get out there, and I think that they're just going to eat it up. It's it's great that there is a championship here in Mill Street. Noel and Thomas have done an amazing job. The ground's beautiful. We're just so excited to get going.
The time here is notoriously difficult, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, the time is quick, and if you want to make it, you have to have the pedal down the whole way. So yeah, no, I think the rain will definitely be a nice welcome to the Irish. We're so used to riding in it, so I think the guys are just going to get out there and eat it up.
Well, you've heard it here from Robbie. The Irish are hoping to be in the lead at the end of the day. There are less than 4 penalties between the top 3 teams, so it's all to play for, and it's going to be very, very exciting.
Lovely stuff. Thanks to Robbie Kearns there, and also to Frankie, who'll be keeping a keen eye on things as they go across the country there at Mill Street this afternoon, and bringing us all of the rest of the updates tomorrow ahead of the final day of competition. We want to turn our attention back now to our feet. It is the show about this one, Rosie, because Hickstead, as we know, it's dear to our hearts, dear to so many. It is the traditional home of British show jumping, as we like to say, and look at that venue. In recent years, the team there pouring a lot more financial sort of support into the venue, really bringing it up, really investing there, but keeping that that sense of it being the Hickstead that we know and love, but really trying to bring that infrastructure to a place where it's really facilitating all of these incredible horses and riders that are coming in there during the summer and throughout these incredible shows across the year.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of modernising it, but also keeping the aspects that make it so historical and keeping that whole Hickstead buzz. Mm-hmm. You know, they haven't totally modernised it to become a venue that it's not. They've done a beautiful job of that, and the beautiful aspect of Hickstead. Go and jump on some super surface in another ring. So it's a really varied venue and one that everybody loves.
Yeah, the hallowed turf, as we like to call it. Carl Ude Martinez is one of our reporters here in the In and Out studio team, and he has been out taking a look at our venue in focus.
Welcome to Hickstead, the All England jumping course. There are some sporting venues where you don't just see history, you actually feel it, and Hickstead is definitely one of them. Created from a vision by Douglas Bunn and first opening its doors in 1960, this has become Britain's pioneering, purpose-built show jumping venue. Agria Royal International Horse Show. An event first staged in 1907, but finds its permanent home here at Hickstead since 1992. It really does attract some of the top 5-star international show jumping, the very best of championship showing, and hundreds, thousands of horses, spectators and riders from around the equestrian world. This show literally has got everything from the fun, action-packed Eventers Challenge to Nation's Pride at stake for the Agria Nations Cup, Queen Elizabeth II, and then that builds to the finale, the big one, the one that everybody wants to win, the King George V Gold Cup, where we see some of the best riders and horses taking to that arena for one of the most celebrated trophies. But Hickstead is more than just trophies. It's the closeness of the crowd, the home crowd, and the generations of family dynasties that come back year after year. It's the incredible horses and riders that have graced this arena, but also that unique chance that you may just be watching a piece of Hickstead history being made.
Oh, the goosebumps. I really get the goosebumps because it is exactly that. Carl has absolutely nailed it there. Every time you watch a class, no matter what it is, on that hallowed turf, as I said, we call it, you really do think you could see history being made, and there's been so many incredible moments in equestrian sport that have taken place there, Rosie. This week has been another one of those phenomenal weeks that Hickstead will be loving. The team there will be absolutely in raptures over at Hickstead during this Royal International.
Because they did come in as the favourites, but not by much. It was going to be a really, really tight competition, and we watched that unfold because these were the predictions coming into the class. Great Britain there with 20%, Germany 17%, Canada 14%. So no one really had more than a 1 in 5 chance of taking the win. So, and although the Brits were on paper set to go and win, it can be a whole different story when you enter that main ring and have to actually jump all the obstacles. So that is the predictions before it started, but there were some really important rounds as well that changed the course of the competition as it went on and really then ended up moving things into the Brits' favour. And I think some of them we want to touch on. As I mentioned, there was a few Brits in there. Jessica Mendoza was absolutely fantastic, and she went in first with Summer House, and that's a really strong position for her to be in because she's got so much experience on the team now, and she's done lots for Great Britain. So she was in first, and she went and jumped Great Britain from a 20% win chance up to 46, which was really big. Staying with the Brits, Tim Gredley also had a fantastic time on rotation 3 because he went on to be one of just 2 riders to jump double clear. And that consistency from Tim is vital in a team competition like this. So they moved from 40% up to 59% win chance. It really was starting to go into the favour of the British team, but the Irish, you know, they can't let that happen too easily, can they? No,
they can't let it happen.
A little bit of a late run there from the Irish in round 2 in rotation 3 and 4 because there was clears from Shane Breen and Connor Swell, which moved them from 6% to 18%, but also put the pressure. It's going to be a jump off. So it was a very exciting end and a bit different from Ben. He's normally first to go. He mentioned before that he's normally the one to go first and kind of set the pace, and to have the pressure on him at the end there, he said, oh, you know, it was a bit different, but I mean, he can handle pressure. He's a pro.
Absolutely, and not surprising that we saw a generation of Buns and Breens coming on through, as we've seen very clearly this weekend in various competitions. But we wanted to talk a little bit about, and we talked about this with Charlotte from Echo Ratings and the team, the role that the water played, because I know this is something that has stuck out to you as well, because this is going to be really interesting in that Ding 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 World Championships here.
Most certainly, because at Aachen, they confidently before you head into Aachen, and that's just around the corner. We do talk about it a lot, but yesterday, if we have a look here, we've had some issues on that track from these 2 riders. You know, Marcus Ennin, unfortunate retirement, and there with Louise, unfortunately having a refusal, and that really impacted their win chances. You've gone from 32% down to 1, and win chance from 16 down to 9, and it's a very, very influential fence, I should say. I know that Tim Gredley also had some issues there, but I think the main thing is that fence needs to be strong before you're going to World Championships. You've got to be able to jump the water well before Aachen comes around, and you've got 2 very imposing waters coming your way.
Yeah, and not just for the sake of your horse and yourself, but also for what the team selectors will be looking at and what the rest of your team needs you to do, because you really have to be confident. It's not something they come across all the time, so it is something they have to be well schooled and well trained. Run over these kinds of courses in the lead up to that World Championships as well. So yeah, incredibly sort of, we saw influential there. Adrian Whiteway as well for the UK had a bit of an issue with that too. So it was influential. I guess also what it all came down to though is we had these 2 double clears. We touched on that with Tim Gredley. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It was a very, very exciting element to only have 2 riders jumping double clear with Connor Swell and Tim Gredley there. Tim, who was just such an anchor for the British team, And then Connorswell, that horse is an amazing horse, one of the top rated 10-year-olds, in the top 20 rated 10-year-olds in the world. And actually that double clear was what put the pressure on Ben, as we've mentioned, on
those clears for Gredley as well, and so fantastic to see him there with his Medoc de Tuxandria and back together on that turf at Hickstead. We want to take a look at those 2 double clears because impressive they certainly were. Here's their last rounds.
Round. He needs to do it once more. Tim Gredley here with the Unex competition yards. Medoc de Tuxandria.
Come on, Tim.
Tim's reaction at the end of the first round was fantastic, wasn't it? You could see just how much the clear meant to him and just how much this horse means to him as well.
Absolutely, they've built up a fantastic partnership over the years. Tim, as keen as ever, riding fantastic. Foot perfect in the first round. Very good there through the combination. 2 to jump.
Away with the rub there.
Fantastic.
No mistakes over the last. Oh, that was brilliant from Tim Gredley, Medoc de Tuxandria. He was beaming from ear to ear at the end of the first round, and I think he might be smiling even more so now, because that was quite brilliant from Tim Gredley and Medoc de Tuxandria. Connorswell and Clonterma Blensky, they jumped clear in the first round. They have to do the same once more to have any chance of sending it through to a jump-off against Great Britain. If this man has a fence, by my calculations, the title is Great Britain's. No pressure for Connor then.
No pressure. Jumped a very good first round, so he knows what he needs to do. Big stretch over the water there. So if Connor jumps clear, it goes to a jump off. Is that what we...
If Connor jumps clear, it then all depends on what round Ben Mayer produces with Catelli. It could be a jump off.
Oh yeah, because we could drop at 8, couldn't we? Yeah, yeah. Exciting stuff. Connor looking very solid here.
Oh! Oh, he's jumped the clear to keep the dream alive for the Irish. Anthony Condon there watching on from ringside. It was Anthony that produced the winning clear for Ireland the last time they won the title here at Hickstead. It could be a jump off for top spot here in 2026. Will, what a job that.
Unbelievable rounds. You could see there was no way he was gonna crack under that pressure. Yeah, fantastic. Connor he's a great guy, and
We love those kind of shots, don't we?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Thank you very much, he says. So that was the exciting stuff, and all had everybody on the edge of their seats, but then it all came down to Ben Mayer. And I mean, you know, you're going to have him as your last to go. Why not?
Secure the win for Great Britain, or else it was going to be jump-off time. And the Irish are very good in a jump-off, so they most certainly did not want that to happen. But what a turnaround from the Irish, and I think it was fantastic for them. And I love team competitions for that aspect, that the pressure is on every single rider. Every single rider can have a big influence on the scoreboard. And for them to pull together and produce clears like that, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, super stuff. And of course, Ben Mayer jumping that clear, he couldn't have been happier to do. She is with friend and fellow eventer, a lady who has just hoofed it all the way down the motorway to actually make it to Hickstead to turn her hoof to show jumping this afternoon. She's with Gemma Stevens.
Excellent. And how important is that last-minute preparation? Obviously, you're trying to balance eventing and show jumping here, but you've got a World Championships coming up. Congratulations on your selection. So,
yeah, thank you.
How are you putting your focus on these last little preparations before the?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he has had to be my priority this week. He's actually jumped here at the beginning of the week, and then I've been working him at home in between jumping the classes. And then this morning it was really important. Luckily, he was first to go. Aston have been amazing and fitted me in. He had the best of the ground, so that's fantastic. And then just to be able to hot-foot it back down a very busy motorway today, the whole world and his wife, I can tell you, are out on the roads today. And we've literally pulled in to Hickstead about 3 minutes ago.
I have to say, I don't envy you doing a dressage test at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It was quite an early dressage test.
Just tell me why it is that you love coming here so much, why you've made the effort to be here, and what this place means to you.
I mean, Hickstead is obviously so local to me. It's the dream place. You know, that arena is so important. Every time you go in there, you get butterflies. You know, to be honoured enough to jump in the Queens, we had to make this huge effort to get here to jump Envoy Dime Bar, we call him at home, in this class. So yeah, just really looking forward to the afternoon, and thank you to JCL for sponsoring as well.
You've obviously had a lot of success already here this week, although you've been away and come back, winning the B&C in this arena, and then coming back to the Queen Elizabeth Cup. How your horse that you're about to ride, he's not been in this arena yet this week. When you go and walk that course, what are the sort of things you're going to be looking out for?
I think I know him really well, so I know his strengths. Check out where I need to be really on it, and then where he can be really on it. So yeah, he hasn't jumped this week, but he jumped last week in the big arena up at the Great Yorkshire. So he's sort of in form and fit. So yeah,
fabulous. Well, I can't wait to see how you guys go. I'm not going to take a moment more of your time because you're a very busy lady.
Thank you,
Gemma Stevens. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much, guys. And Gemma's like, yep, here's the microphone. Woohoo! Gonna go walk that course. Absolutely. And Rosie and I were just saying, Gemma's got a pink sticker there on her riding hat, which denotes the fact that she has not removed that hat since she went eventing this morning, had a gear check. They checked that for safety. So we were so grateful to our feature class this afternoon. Now, Rosie, this is an incredible class. We love it, steeped in history and tradition. And it was originally the Princess Elizabeth Cup because it was presented by. It was restricted to female riders. That is why it's such an interesting class. Until 2008, it was female riders only, and then of course we made it sort of mixed gender, which is totally fine. It's how the equestrian sport works these days, but a really interesting history behind it. And as such, Liz Edgar, who is an incredible icon in the sport of show jumping in Britain, holds the record with 5 wins. And since it's become male and female, obviously Shane Breen, Hickstead local, he is Hickstead's favourite son-in-law. He has a record 4 wins. So what can he do? Maybe he can mix it up again. Maybe he'll come back one day and we'll see him in there. this is a wonderful class. We really, really love to focus on it. The Equestrian ratings team have put it together. We're going to see a lot of national riders here too today, aren't we?
Yes, we are, because it is a national championship, and so you're going to have a lot of the Brits coming in. I must say, Shane Breen, he's only had since 2008 to get that record up. He's doing very well.
On there. Steady on there, Shano.
But yeah, it is a British national championship, as we mentioned, so lots of Brits coming forwards. But I think what's going to be really interesting to see how many go clear, because this class is a very influential class when it comes to clears and time. So when we're looking at our previous clears, in round one, we predict that there will be roughly 6 clear rounds, because on average since 2015, there has been a 20% clear rate in that first round. Then, of course, they progress on to the jump off. Now, this is where it gets exciting, because roughly 62% are likely to go clear. So that's about 4 people from our predicted 6 that go through that will jump clear. So that means it all comes down to time. And that we most definitely see if we look at our previous winners, because on the winning margins, on our previous winners, are very, very tight. And I think that really just shows how influential time is when it comes down to a class like this, and when you're looking at, a jump off.
Yeah, let's take a look at those previous winners then, because it is a veritable who's who, as we know. You're going to see a lot of one particular surname. They are. But, it's a case of which Whittaker when you hit Hickstead, as we say, but obviously Shane Breen obviously featuring there a lot as well.
100%, and as I've mentioned with the winning margins, we can see here how close they are, on average about a second, so it shows that time is really important when you hit the jump off, as it is always, but some jump offs are won just by a clear round because the course is quite influential, whereas from history, we can see that you need to be speedy to win. We don't have our defending champion coming back. There's no James Whittaker this year, but we do have a previous winner in the field, and that, of course, is Harriet Nuttall. And she's coming forward, and she has so much success at this venue. Hickstead is very much a happy hunting ground for her. I'm really excited to see her come out and hopefully go on to take a win, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, she's coming forwards and she'll mean business.
Yeah, absolutely. Harriet Nuttall, or Harriet Biddick as she's known, and she's such a Hickstead specialist almost in a way, someone we've seen a lot of in recent years, and then sort of had these champions, these amazing horses who tired, but it looks like that is exactly what she's done, so we're looking forward to seeing her. And of course, we saw there last year's winner was James Whittaker, Just Call Me Henry. We want to take a look at how that win unfolded last year.
At Chepstow earlier this year, but
this will be quick.
It will be. This man meant business last weekend at Chard to win the world ranking class. You watch him now. He is gonna fly.
It's a difficult turn here. It's up the hill. You've got to catch that outside shoulder. Gets 7 strides up the hill. Just not got quite the shot or quite the stride to get that 6.
I think once he's over this, he might really turn loose.
He's quick enough, isn't he?
He's in touch.
He's in touch, yeah. He's got to take a chance. Great.
Now he
How
can
quick
gallop.
can he be?
Now he can go. Won it in 2018. Will his name be on the trophy in 2025? It could be. 44.99. James Whittaker, Just Call Me Henry. They can take a bow because they've stormed into top spot and there's room to spare. That was superb.
Yeah, incredible stuff there from James Whittaker in 2025. A really fantastic win for him, well deserved. We want to take a little bit more of a look at some of the analysis we've been looking at, Rosie. And as we say, this is largely a national competition. This is like a national Will have qualified through various classes that take place in Britain at big shows throughout the year to get here. So it can really sometimes unearth some real superstars and really give the opportunity for people to shine at this big five-star show in the UK. And one of those riders who we've seen a lot, who's an incredible jockey, we just couldn't rate her enough, is Georgia Tame, and she's our rider in focus today.
Yeah, she's a brilliant rider, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her in this class because she's been competing this week with 3 8-year-olds who are making their 5-star debut. Already third place finish in the 7 and 8-year-old class on Lucky Chance Z. She's coming forward in this class with Be Alcantara, a 10-year-old, owned by Breen Equestrian. Shane Breen is, of course, a 2-time winner of this class, and he knows what it takes to win. His yard knows what it takes to win. That's the most important thing. So I think that she's coming forward with great form, great team backing her, and you know she very much knows the venue, so lots to look forward to with her around.
Yeah, she's plenty of experience, obviously having worked for Breen with the chain for a number of years, moved on, worked around the world at various stables and institutions, really honing her craft. Comes back again today, again with Breen, with a lovely string of younger horses. It'd be really fantastic to see what she can do, and actually she is our rider in focus, and we caught up with her this week.
My name's Georgia Tame and I'm competing here at Hickstead International this week. Okay, I've grown up here most of my life and it's just always nice to come back, basically home for me. So it's nice to see everyone and it's such a special arena that it never gets old trotting through the gates. Oh, it's definitely helped me get to where I am today. The people here and also riding here, you know, you don't get much more places with atmosphere as you do here in the Hickstead ring, and it really grows you as a rider and a person. One of my earliest memories was probably more getting ice creams and watching my idols ride in the arena. I was based here for a long time with Breen Equestrian. I really think it's shaped who I am today as a rider. I spent 8 years here and then I went away for about 1.5 years and then came back again for a year. But everything I've achieved so far in my career has been with Breen Equestrian, and they've definitely helped me with everything to where I am now. I've just been setting up now away from Hickstead, which was a hard step to make, but I'm also very lucky. I have an unbelievable owner, Susan Press, the Ballyrogan stud. But yeah, no, it's like trying to create a whole new team of horses and get to that level again. So we're just taking our time now, but it's hard. It's not as easy as what you would think, but no, it's all looking good at the minute. I've got 3 8-year-olds here at Hickstead. I've got Balmain, Tiassi, which I actually bought from Shane a couple of years ago, and I've got Lucky Chance Z in the 7 8-year-olds. For 2 of them, it's their first time in the main arena, and they've all been brilliant so far. I really think that they're all very special horses, and I'm really excited. Ellie rang and told me that I've qualified for the Queens, and I didn't actually have a horse here with me, and I spoke to Shane and he said I could ride Be Alcantara in the Queens. It's her first time in that class, but I did it many years ago now. I rode her a little bit when I was here before. I did one show on her out in Abu Dhabi and she won the 2-star Grand Prix. So hopefully on Saturday in the Queens we can have a good go at it, and we're going to give it a good go anyway. We're going to try.
Super stuff there, and really nice to hear from Georgia and catch up with, you know, where she's at with things. A great young lady, and as we said, terrific jockey who we really, really rate. And we cannot wait to see what she can do today. I love a range of things.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Doesn't it? For sure. We want to go back to Hickstead in a moment and try and catch up with Laura to bring us up to speed with what's going on, because we are getting to the pointy end of things now. We're seeing sort of various people out on the course. They're walking, they're getting a feel for everything that's going on down there. We caught up with Gemma Stevens earlier, who was literally racing out to walk that course, wasn't she? So we want to go back down to Laura. A bit of a feel for things. Laura, what's the latest as we... It looks like Laura can't hear us at the minute. We'll come back and we'll chat to Laura in just a second. We will, in the meantime, though, Rosie, let's talk a little bit more about the analysis that EquiRatings has provided us. A couple of names that we dropped a little bit earlier. Harriet Biddick being one of them, as we said. She is our one to watch as we head into the sport. Let's talk a little bit more about her. She comes with diamond blue into this competition, and she's, as we said, our only past winner in the field.
Yes, she's coming forward as a really exciting combination to watch because Hickstead, as we've said, is very much a happy place for her. She's had lots of success, lots of wins. She's had 24 podium finishes in international classes at a venue like this on such hallowed turf and a venue that has so much history behind it. She, if we break down some of these wins, a Speed Derby, we've seen that before, a Derby trial win and 5 runners-up positions in the main Derby. So she is absolutely phenomenal. Hickstead is a place where she can perform and really get results. So she's definitely one to watch.
She has definitely. Harriet Biddick was, is and always will be one to watch. Of course, infamous, of course, for that bridal moment that we saw at Hickstead Derby not so many years ago where she took on the might of that course. Just no bridle. Thank you, Silverlift. An excellent pony doing his job. Another one to watch, of course, will be Alex Bragg. Now, when we talk about being bold and brave at Hickstead, we're bringing forward a lot of eventers. We're seeing them come into this show jumping world. Alex is one that is not unfamiliar to us now in the sport of show jumping, obviously coming from eventing, and another one of our riders to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alex is in fine form, and I watched him at the Hickstead Derby, and he's just stepped into the world of show jumping so well, so professionally. As we've mentioned, a 5-star event rider. He won the Eventers Challenge here in 2024 and has that really strong Derby record because he was 6th here in the Derby just, a month or so ago. He's also been jumping in the freestyle classes at Chard last weekend with this mare and was jumping really well. I think that he's thriving in the world of show jumping now and loves a big class like this. He's a real competitor, so I can't wait to watch him jump today. Yeah, it really will be fantastic stuff to watch. He is a wonderful horseman. Really, really interesting insights that he has in the way that he brings his horses to competition level and to this big competition level as well. We spoke to this lady earlier, as we mentioned a couple of times, dashing around today. She's been selected for the World Championships in Aachen in the sport of events, and why not? She, of course, are speaking about another one to watch as we go into this Queen Elizabeth II Cup. Yep, and she's had so much success already this weekend. If she's not driving about winning, she's here at Hickstead winning because she's had 2 wins already. Win in the Grade B and C Championship on Warriors Range on Cooley Park Mews, and actually that was her 3rd win in that class and the first rider to win that class 3 times. So she's on great form. She's coming forward with Envoy Merylnest Z, as he's known at home as the wonderful Dime Bar, and he's such a striking horse. They have experience in this ring. They were 6th in the Derby this year, and I think that she's a hungry woman, a competitive woman. She's not driving around the country for no reason. She means business, and I want whatever is fueling Gemma Stevens right now. Exactly. What's her secret? Where's that energy coming from? I tell you what, it has to be an absolute determination of steel to be doing the thing she's doing, and so fantastic to see it paying off. Hard work absolutely being rewarded there for Gemma Stevens, which is fab stuff. And, down in the arena at Hickstead, I think Laura's ready to have a chat to us. We just had a technical issue before, but she's down there. She's been keeping a keen eye on what's going on down by the arena. We're looking like we're going to chat to Laura in a moment.
Okay, we're going to not chat to Laura in a moment. We're going to wait for a second, Rosie. But before we do that, let's talk about then, in this Queen Elizabeth II, who's your tip? Who do you think is going to win it?
It's a tough one because, as we've mentioned, it's a to me, because I'm going to put my money on Harriet Biddock. I think that, as we've mentioned, Hickstead is a great place for her. I think that she's coming forward with a strong horse, and you know, nothing against the other riders, the other eventers stepping in.
And I'm going to not give a tip at all. Because if I do, then I'll put the mockers on someone. I can't change anything now. It's too late in the game. We want to go back to Laura. She is ready for us. I keep throwing to her and looking like a ham, but she is actually ready. All the bits and pieces and the wheels are in motion. Things are happening there at Hickstead. Laura Dees, tell us, how's it feeling down there as we get towards, as we say, the pointy end of things?
Yes, exactly. The atmosphere is really hotting up now. We are literally moments away from the start of the class, and I was able to just nip in there and have a little look at the course and speak to some of the riders. I think it's fair to say that this Kevin Bywater track is going to be influential. There's going to be faults all over the place. It's looking big and up to height. I managed to speak to William Funnell whilst I was in there, and he was saying that he was waiting to see actually what the course looked like before deciding whether to jump his horse, as he's only 8 years old, and having looked at it, he said he thinks it's pretty fair, so he's going to give it a crack. I think looking at it, I think the water is going to be influential. I think I said earlier the water comes early in the course, and then it's followed immediately by the planks, the famous Hickstead planks, and they're going back towards home, so that's always going to add a certain level of challenge. You've then later on in the course got the three-part combination with a huge oxer in the middle as well, and I think that's where the course design is really clever here, using the gradient to make things a little bit tougher than they would otherwise be. I think the other combination to mention at this point is Holly Smith and her 16-year-old stallion Fuseli, who's been out for a couple of years with injury. He is back. They are due to jump this class, and he has been on absolute fine form, winning a 145 recently in Bolesworth. So I cannot wait to see how they get on, and I cannot wait to see this class get underway.
Breaking news coming out of Hickstead. Really excited. Keep an eye on Holly Smith as we see her taking to that hallowed turf at Hickstead. It's going to be super exciting, Rosie. We are going to be watching. We'll be coming back and forth into the studio throughout the course of the competition. Of course, Laura will be catching up with all of the riders throughout the sport. We want to say goodbye now to our viewers on YouTube. Of course, you can enjoy the show on the Clip My Horse 24/7 channel. It is all live and free for you there to enjoy. So head on over and catch up with the rest of the afternoon sport with us there. We'll be looking forward to bringing it to you, of course. For now, though, all that's left to do is for us to hand it over to our commentary team, expertly led for you today by John Stokes.
Oh.